And welcome back to the big show, everybody. And when I say big, quote unquote big, our next guest fits that description. I've known Chick Hernandez forever. Not that we're old or anything, but I wanted to introduce you to him this week. Lots going on in the nation's capital, where he is the sports anchor, Emmy award-winning sports anchor for WUSA TV Channel 9. I watch him on social media because I think he's a hoot. Chick, how are you, my friend? What's going on?
You called it a big show. Does that mean I'm fat? Are you calling me fat?
No, I didn't mean that at all.
Okay, all right.
Didn't mean that at
I'm
all.
good.
You're looking good.
I'm good. I am good. On the personal level, a cancer-free guy who went through prostate cancer last year, and so back to golf and work.
God bless you, man. Yeah, I was following you again on social media, and prayers to you as you went through that. So I'm glad you're free and clear, as they say. Let's talk a little football because it seems to be the hot topic, Chick. And you spent some time with Jaden Daniels pre-draft. It appeared the Commanders were going to go with him, and they got their guy. And listen, I covered him a couple of years when he would play Alabama, and the kid's phenomenal. I mean, he had some crazy highlights. I guess the question to you, is he the guy? I mean, you got to have one of those guys to change the franchise around. Do you think Jaden Daniels is the man?
Well, Doug, the numbers, if you look at it, and I'm not a big analytical guy, but as far as top quarterback draft picks, the hit number when being the guy is like 25% in reality. So I don't know if he's the guy. What I do know is that they have a guy that can do different things than they've had. Sam Howell was pretty good last year, durable as heck. Now in Seattle. Not a whole lot of flash to him, and made some throws that you just went, what just happened there? We're going to find out a guy going from college to the pros. We're going to find out a guy that's slight of build. They tried to make the comparison to Robert Griffin III. I won't call him by his nickname. It's the dumbest for me. It doesn't make any sense. I call him Bobby Three Sticks. He was a track star.
Yeah.
In a football uniform. Jaden is a football guy in a football uniform, so we're going to find out. But he's got all the tools, makes all the throws, and I watched him in the pro day. And I played quarterback in high school and junior college. There's one really tough throw, and that's that swing pass where you got to hit the running back in the right spot every time. And I know it's just indoors at a pro day. Every time, running back out of the backfield. He hit him right where he needs to be hit. So, I mean, we're gonna find out for sure. They've got now 5 quarterbacks, by the way, on the roster. That's gonna change, but we're gonna find out. And I love the kid's makeup. During pro day, literally, the first part of the pro day for him was cheering on his teammates. And one of the reasons he had that pro day was to have his teammates get a look by NFL scouts.
Yeah, I think you hit it. And I say you. I think the Commanders hit it. This day and age where you have to have that offensive catalyst who can do a lot in ad lib, I think he's the guy. But speaking of the Commanders, and you've been covering the Washington football team for a long time. I mean, there's a lot going on there. New coach, new owner, obviously the new quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, Chick, the Commanders need to be good. I mean, we need to reestablish that franchise. Do you think they've turned the corner? I mean, or is it just new and we have to see how things play out?
Well, they definitely have turned the corner. Whether that equates to wins or not is the major question mark. But this is, I've been through now 3 different team names, and I've actually been through 3 different owners. So I covered the team when it was Jack Kent Cook way back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm what they call archaic. What's the difference in the building is phenomenal, as opposed to when this organization, you walk in during the Dan Snyder era, and employees wouldn't look you in the eye. They just kind of go look at you and then avert their eyes and go, hey, what are you doing here? Is almost the first question. Now you walk in the building, it's eye contact. It is, how can I help you, with a smile? They got good people in there. And what I love about this organization with Josh Harris and company as the owners, including Magic Johnson, Adam Peters as the GM. You have a bunch of guys there. The new coach, Dan Quinn, is they've kept everything close to the vest, as opposed to the previous regime, which had more leaks than the Exxon Valdez. It was like, for you young kids, Google that, by the way. It is. It
was a big story.
Yeah, it was a big leak. This organization kept it close to the vest, and in our business, we all want to break stories. I was laughing and watching some of the writers and some of the other TV guys and girls were like, we can't get into inside intel. I'm like, cool. I was okay with it. Like, good. They're doing the right thing. So it's a completely different organization. They didn't draft an Alabama guy for the first time in forever. I'm shocked at that.
What the heck? Roll Tide.
I don't know what happened there. But no, I think they've turned a corner in perception, and we'll see. And Dan Quinn's going to be the dude. He's a guy who got to the Super Bowl and lost in an unbelievable fashion with a comeback loss.
28-3. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's painful. Don't mention it to Dan because he'll get one right across the chin. And he's been great. He's been great. Adam Peters in his new role has been, I think he sat and watched and learned a lot of things from John Lynch and Sam Fran. And so I'm hopeful. I'd love to cover a winning organization. It's been 2 decades, really. I mean, Bobby Three-Stick's year was great. That was 1 year.
Wow. That's the Mike Shanahan era, which had Kirk Cousins on the roster, which brings me to my next question. You know Kirk, great guy who's had a heck of a career, has made a lot of money, and really a consistent performer over a long period of time. First injury was last year, coming back from the Achilles, and yet the Falcons signed him to this mega deal, $100 million guaranteed. And then on draft day, when it appeared they were going to go defense, Dallas Turner, Alabama was there with the 6th pick, but they go quarterback with Michael Penix Jr. You know Kirk, and he admittedly and his agent were a little blindsided by the pick, sure. But I think they'll be fine with it. But what do you? Good pick, bad pick? What's your thought?
Well, just like Bobby Three-Sticks in 2012 when they drafted then Kirk Cousins, so he's got a frame of reference to deal from. Look, Kirk Cousins. I mean, what a cash cow he's been. Really solid quarterback. Achilles coming back from that is always difficult. And he has been known to be a tad thin-skinned and petty. So we're going to find out. I'm sure the initial shock, but, as he well knows, all he's got to do is perform. Now, Penix, for me, I'm a left-handed quarterback. Watching him throw the ball, I mean, it's a different ball than a lot of quarterbacks throw, right? And I think he stunned people with the 40 time at the combine. Oh, he's old and he's got all these knee operations. That dude moved, and he's 26, so you have a smaller window. He's going to play, Doug. He's going to play, and he's going to make some throws that I've talked to a couple of DBs, guys who used to play in the league, and they're like, he throws a ball that. I think I got the guy covered, and then this ball comes whistling in, or it's in the perfect spot, and all of a sudden it's uncoverable. So he's going to play, and Kirk's going to have to deal with it. Kirk's going to have to deal with his own physical limitations at this point, and it wasn't like he was the biggest scrambler to begin with. So we'll see. I mean, that locker room is going to be a little bit tight for a while.
That's why I wanted to ask you, because I wanted to hear your answer. Speaking of old quarterbacks, though, the other story that's brewing, of course, Tom Brady. Has been retired now for going on 2 years. He's supposed to be the lead analyst for Fox. I haven't heard anything about that, by the way. He's been hanging out with Mark Davis, owner of the Raiders, because he wants to somehow get an ownership stake. And that's kind of a slow go for whatever reason. But now these stories are brewing that maybe Brady will come out of retirement. Any possibility, Chick?
I mean, are they going to bring back George Blanda from the dead? What are they? I mean, seriously?
No, that would be a story.
That would be a story. With Tom Brady, there's always a possibility. I think cooler and calmer heads will prevail because I think part of the deal is that Brady will have to have Mark Davis's haircut, which I don't think Tom's going to do. How old is Tom now? 44?
Yeah, going to 45. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So come on, stop it. I mean, just his own. Saving his own life is more paramount than anything.
Yeah, I
agree.
agree.
Paid no matter what. So I mean, it's a great talking tool. It keeps his name in it. But he's smart enough to know, probably not wise. And how's that Raiders? Although I will say this, Antonio Pierce.
I like him.
I like him a lot, and he was there at Jaden Daniels Pro Day, and I caught him afterwards at lunch, and he really, really wanted Jaden Daniels. So Pierce,
I bet
he looks like a good guy to play for. To play for. I covered him when he was a Washington footballer back in the day.
Wow, I think
I covered Red Grange. To be honest,
well, I keep referencing that you're not old, but you're
I know.
burning yourself, by these stories.
Senility.
Tell me this now, University of Maryland guy, and I know you're proud of that, loud and proud. And of course, Boomer Esiason, one of the most famous, Maryland Terps.
Yeah.
And CBS, even though he's still the number one guy on radio up in New York City, the network, NFL Today, going a little different direction. J.J. Watt, Boomer, and Phil Simms are being farmed out. And listen, they've been doing it a long time. I think Phil Simms was on CBS for close to 30 years.
Yeah.
What do you think about Boomer being taken off NFL Today? I don't know. Just listen, when I flip on James Brown, your buddy, and I'm watching that show, just Boomer's kind of a part of it, but no longer.
Yeah, it's always difficult in this business, and just as a fan watching, you're so used to it's like your family, right? You're watching these
right.
guys. So it's inevitable that it happens. I don't think there's anything sinister about it. It's just new blood.
Yeah.
J.J. Watt's spectacular. He's got great energy. He'll bring something different, just like Boomer brought something different, and Simms brought something different. And when Phil Simms first came on, we were like, I don't know, he's just. I don't know. And now you kind of you knew what the dynamic was. So it's unfortunate, but Boomer will be okay. Phil will be okay, and they'll do some other things as you mentioned with the radio and who knows with Sims, some other TV. But yeah, I mean it's just inevitable. Just like it's happened to us, right? It's people move on, and I want to see what J.J. Watt. What I love about players, especially younger players, is they bring something different to the broadcast. And because the game has changed so much, they're going to give us some intel that we hadn't thought about, and that'll be cool.
Tell me this now, because I know you still love the game of golf. I mean, you're heavily involved. You play all those awesome courses up there in the D.C. area, Congressional, et cetera.
Yeah.
And you got connections where you can go play. Next time I'm up, you're going to take me out. But as you cover, you know all about golf right now. Scotty Scheffler, the dominant number one. Tiger no longer plays. How's it playing with your audience there in the nation's capital? I mean, is pro golf good, bad? No, everybody's just kind of like, it is what it is. What's going on in the D.C. area with the game of professional golf?
I think it's now kind of is what it is because Tiger had his tournament here for, at least 10 years.
Yeah.
And, that week and those weeks coming up to it, and we had a relationship with Tiger. He'd come on our air, and it was must-see TV.
Right.
So it was high, right? We had we had something the tournament 2 years ago. I forget the not Rocket Mortgage, but anyway, and they had it at TPC Avenue where they used to have.
It was Rocket Mortgage before it moved to Detroit. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if golf is here, they come out in droves. But now it's just like we're just kind of we're watching. It's simple as that. But I'm laughing because I play a lot of golf, and the comedy of it now is I'm watching some guys on the range and during a round of golf that are trying to swing like Scotty Scheffler. And it is comical. I mean, it looks like a figure skater trying to do the footwork. It is. I'm like, what are you doing? Well, it works for Scotty. Yeah, it works for Scotty, not for you. What are you doing? You're going to rip a kneecap off. So it's different now. If a tournament comes back here, it'll be heavily supported. Caves Valley in Baltimore are not that far away. They've had some PGA and PGA Tour champions in there. So, I mean, if it comes, if they build it, they will come. But right now, it's down. There's no question about it.
Tell me this, because and you do have a long-standing relationship with Tiger, the great Tiger Woods, and it goes back when you were at Augusta, Georgia, covering that little tournament there, the Masters, and he was just a young guy. Chip, you got to cherish that because, listen, not many people does Tiger allow in his inner circle.
Yeah, we had a very unique relationship because I'm not sure if you know this or not, Doug, but I'm a bit of a smart aleck.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the first year that Tiger brought his tournament, they brought him into town to do a big press conference, and then they gave all the locals maybe 3 to 5 minutes. We all had our separate rooms. Now, I'd come from Augusta where I'd covered, my champions were couples, Olafable, and longer. So I'd been through the whole how to deal with, and the only interview I've ever been nervous for in my entire professional career, which spans over 3 decades, was Jack Nicklaus the first time. So I was used to it. I was watching my colleagues and they're biting their fingernails and they're like, I'm like, what's wrong? Well, it's Tiger. Okay, it's Tiger. So when he walked in the room, and this is the young version, right? He wasn't really comfortable in front of the camera. I don't think he quite still is completely comfortable in front of the camera. We had basically the same suit. It was like a gray, purple tie, purple shirt. And when he walked in, I'm like, oh. So I said, nice ensemble as they're miking him up. Well, he's not making any contact. Eye contact. He's just kind of looking ahead. So I'm just looking at him, waiting for him to realize what I just said. And finally, he looks up and he goes, oh, I get it. And I go, you're quick. You're really quick. At which point, his people were like, what did he say? What did he just take a shot? But at that moment for Tiger was, oh, I got a smart aleck. And that's the way it was from then on. I wore all black one year, and he came on the set, and he goes, normally black is slimming. Okay. Really? Okay. So
good stuff.
It's yeah. So, and from the if I take myself out of the sportscaster and just the fan, just like when I watched Jack Nicklaus as a kid, I root for Tiger, the 2.0 version, a much kinder, nicer human who's taking, he knows what's taking place here. Father Time is undefeated. So I personally root and want him to come back and play. I know he's not going to play a lot. The body won't allow it. But I want to see him win one more time. 2019, as you well know, was just off the charts. That's 5 years ago, and that's after a back surgery and after a car crash. And so, but you still root for the guy. You still root for him. And if he plays on the PGA Tour Champions, he's going to rake.
Yeah. Oh, no kidding. He needs one more though. He just needs to get to 83, right? That's all we want.
Yes. Yeah. And then the argument can be, our generation greatest golfer, Tiger Woods. That's simple. But
it's been phenomenal. Yeah, it really has.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Well, Chick, we appreciate it, my friend. I wanted to get you on just because I haven't seen you in a while. I do follow you on social media, and sometimes I send you a little message because, and I will say this, because this year you were doing a basketball game for CBS Sports Network, and it was one of those November Thanksgiving. You were in some island somewhere, and there was like nobody in the stands.
Yeah, that happened.
And I was like, wow, what an exciting crowd you had watching that game.
Well, when I was doing games during COVID, I mean, jeez, you could hear the sneakers and the assistant coaches with the horrific language. So yeah, I'm happy when it's a big crowd, but every now and again that happens. But still having a blast with it.
All right, Chick, take care, and listen, blessings, my friend. I'm glad health-wise you're good.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, and great to catch up with you. And at some point we will play golf. I mean, it's going to have to eventually happen.
Talk to you soon.
All right.